Good evening everybody and welcome to the video. My name is Samil Shah and in this video I'll be essentially showing you a project. This is not a school project or a college project, but this is an actual project that you would be working in companies as a data engineer or a senior data engineer. Here we are essentially gonna build a streaming pipeline. The data is essentially inserted into DynamoDB. The company is using DynamoDB as their OLTP data, that is a transaction data. That's where all the transactions are happening, insert, update, delete. Now you essentially wanna build a data lake. You wanna build essentially data lake with streaming data. So anytime an insert happens into DynamoDB, we'll essentially stream that data using kinesis data stream. After that, we're gonna process that data real time with Lambda functions. After processing this data, we are gonna insert it into another kinesis data stream. From there, a glue streaming job is gonna process streaming data and essentially insert that data into the data lake into Apache Hudi. We can query the data near real time. We can run incremental queries. We can do insert, update, delete, everything on the data lake. Our data lake is made on S3. After that, we're gonna run ad hoc queries on our data lake using Athena. And at the end, we'll build amazing, beautiful dashboards in QuickSight. So let me show you what the end goal looks like. And I'm sure you'll be excited. All the code and resources is given, so don't worry about that. So if I can share my screen, yeah. So the end goal would be something like this. If you see, I'm gonna insert the data here. Again, this is, I'm inserting data into DynamoDB near real time. So here I'm essentially inserting, new orders are being generated every 5 seconds, right? And if you observe here, I have a dev.oltp. This is where all the transactions are happening, and this is the data is basically being inserted here. Okay. I'm also using DynamoDB as a log table for Apache Hudi for multi-writer concurrency, right? So I'm using that as well. And of course, I want to show you one small thing. That is here, I can query this streaming data, which is, in Kinesis data stream, as you can see. I'm able to, sorry about that. Here you can see I'm able to query my streaming data through Athena. I can run my ad hoc queries. And here at the end, if I simply reload my dashboard, here you can see all the stats will be loaded right now. So here you can see 59. These are all the orders that came from various state orders broken down by city, right? So that is something that we are about to build. Again, this is a near real-time pipeline. Quickly sharing my screen. Again, these transactions are happening on Dynamo. We are streaming these data out from Dynamo into Kinesis, process that, then again insert into a new Kinesis stream. From there, we have a glue streaming job that's gonna take the data, process it, insert into Apache Hudi. That's the end goal. Again, this is an entire project. I recommend you try out this project with me. So let's get started building this project. All right. So sharing my screen. Again, all the code is given and I'll try to go slow here. Okay. Observe the architecture. We're gonna spend some time talking about the architecture. Your transactional data is essentially DynamoDB, insert, update, delete might be happening on Dynamo. We're gonna stream that data through a Kinesis data stream. We'll essentially use a Lambda function to process that data. Once the Lambda processes the data, we essentially insert into a new Kinesis stream. From there, we have a glue Spark job, a streaming job, which will insert into our Apache Hudi, which is our transactional data lake. From here, you can build dimensions, fact, aggregated view as well if needed. And then we can consume the data in Athena. That's our dashboard. Directors and manager, ML engineer can consume the data directly for their machine learning model. That's what we are building. Again, it's a project, right? A lot of stuff is going on. So the first thing that I'll show you is the DynamoDB part. Okay, so I'll collapse. By the way, as a note, this project will cost money. It doesn't come under the free tier, so make sure you're okay with spending like $10 or $15, something like that. So let's get started. So I have a folder called DynamoDB Hudi Stream project, and the first thing that we'll do is we're gonna go inside the YML file. So what I'm gonna do is, just before I start the project, I'm gonna delete everything so I can show you step by step. Okay, so that way you don't say, oh, you know what, you didn't. So npx sls remove. I'm gonna remove everything. The entire stack is gonna be removed. Okay, and then I'll essentially flush my data lake. I'll flush all my glue database, and we are gonna start from scratch. Okay, so coming back to my data lake. Again, I'm gonna delete everything over here, and so that you guys have an opportunity to start the project with me. Again, these are close to a real world project. Okay, these are not like small fun project. These are actual projects that in the company you're gonna work. You're gonna build these pipelines. This is actually what you're gonna do. So yeah, I think I'm just removing the entire stack, and then I'll go slowly step by step with you. All right, are you guys ready? I'm excited to do this. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so yeah, basically that's that. Okay, so everything is removed. So the first step you have to do is basically clone the repository. After cloning the repository, you want to do npx sls deploy. So this will essentially deploy the entire stack. What you want to do is make sure, don't worry about this, I'm gonna delete that, so not a problem. So here, don't change anything, leave everything to default. Simply change your access and secret key. Put your account number here. Account number can be found on the drop down, right? So put the account number here, and don't change anything else except the bucket name. Okay, so change your bucket name and essentially deploy the stack. Here you can see I am deploying the stack with you, which means I am doing this lab again with you. I'm showing you. Okay, so please do it. You're gonna love it. This is an actual project that you can put on a resume. So again, this might take about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll simply be patient at this point. Yeah, I'm deploying the stack. That's great. Yeah, so this is gonna deploy everything. Okay, so basically coming back here, this is gonna deploy the DynamoDB, Kinesis, Lambda, and again we'll go in the code shortly. So first we are just deploying the resources right now. Okay. Again, there are a lot of stuff. So in total, it will deploy a Dynamo table, 2 Kinesis, 1 Lambda, 1 glue job, and that's it. That is something that is gonna deploy. Okay, so let's wait for this to complete. Again, so here you can see 5 out of 10. Again, I really love and enjoy teaching, right? And again, Hudi is very, very popular and powerful. If you really understand Apache Hudi, trust me, you'll be like, wow, this can do so much stuff, right? Again, I have a lot of videos on cow and more on Hudi. This essentially teaches you the concept about what is a cow model, that is copy on write, what is more, that is merge on write, everything is there, right? So, but again, let's wait for the stack to complete. I'm simply being patient right now. Okay, almost there. That is 10 out of 10. There you go. The stack is deployed. So now if you come here, you should have a DynamoDB table called dev.oltp. Okay. In the glue, you will see a database called HudiDB. There won't be any table inside this. Okay. Then in the job section, you should see a glue job with a name called Hudi glue stream job. Okay. Yeah, and then basically I'll show you the kinesis. Again, we are doing stream processing, Dynamo streams and Hudi streams. So this is gonna receive the DynamoDB. We're gonna process the data from there and essentially insert into Hudi stream. Okay, great. What is the next step, Samuel? Okay, next step, guys, come to the database section, click here, click on HudiDB. Here you wouldn't have a table, so click on add table. And the table name has to match, okay? Don't put anything else, otherwise it's not gonna work. Here in the environment variable, I have a table called TBL Dynamo Kinesis. This is the name that you wanna put. And then select HudiDB, okay? Select Kinesis, and here select Hudi stream. Select Hudi stream and not Dynamo, right? Because, yeah, so select, yeah, Hudi stream, that's right, yeah. And then here select JSON, okay? Click next, click create. So here we have essentially made a table, right? Again, so that's done. Now, what is the next step, Samuel? Well, the next step, guys, I will have to walk you over the code base. There's a lot of things, right? So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you over the infrastructure code for DynamoDB. So I go to serverless.yml in the resource section. Here you can see I have a DynamoDB table. I have a PK, I have an SK, that is a range and a sort key. Point in time recovery is enabled, and kinesis data stream, right? Then over here I have a kinesis data stream. This is the DynamoDB stream, which means anytime insert update happens, it will essentially be recorded into this kinesis stream. That's the first stream over here. So that's this guy over here. Watch the circle, okay? Then this is the second kinesis stream that's gonna receive data. After processing the data from the first stream, we're gonna send data to this stream. So essentially I'm creating a kinesis on demand. This is simple, just creating that. The retention period would be for 24 hours, right? So that's that. Over here is the Lambda function, which will process the data from this kinesis over here. This is the Lambda function, right? These are the environment variable, access, secret, region, and a stream name. The stream name is this stream name, not this, okay? Because we're gonna take data from here, process that using Lambda, and then insert it here, okay? So that's that, okay? Here the Lambda is fired through a kinesis, as you can see, defined on line 67 to 74. So that makes sense, right? Yeah, and here I have defined my glue job, right? As you can see, that's the glue job. Now you need to do a couple of changes in the glue job. So now what we need to do is basically come to the job section, okay? And I'll tell you what to do. Come to Hudi glues, come to job details. Now here, change this to Spark streaming, okay? We are doing a streaming job. And please terminate things once you're done, otherwise you're gonna get charged. Okay, leave this to glue 3. Over here, choose G.25x. Okay, and then basically over here you wanna enable these. Okay, enable all the 3 checkbox. Okay, click on use glue data catalog as a Hive metastore checkbox here. Here on the connection section, if you don't see this Hudi connection, I'll show you how to insert that. So what you will do is basically head over to the connection. I'm showing you the steps. Go to marketplace. Then in the search bar, you want to search for Hudi. Click on this button. Click on continue to subscribe. Click on continue configuration. You will select glue 3.0. You'll select 0.10.1. Click on launch. And then here click on usage, and then here it says glue connector, the blue button. And then here it's important, the name should be Hudi-connection. Again, this is important. You have to make sure that you follow the steps, okay? I just wanted to show you the name. Oh, it's in an environment variable, so that's fine. I'll show you. Here, Hudi-connection, Hudi-connection. Put that, click on save, okay? I've already done that. So now back to our glue job, okay? So if you don't see this, click on the drop down, select Hudi connection, okay? Select that, that is important. Here you will see all these variables coming in. So all you have to do is change your bucket name, click on save. Do not run right now, okay? Again, I'm gonna repeat the steps. What we did is basically selected Spark streaming, Python, G.25x. We'll actually click on automatically scale the number of workers based on the need. Then click on all the 3 checkboxes over here, right? Then make sure in the connection, Hudi connection is enabled. Okay, so that's done. So now we also have a table, right? So now I guess at this point, that makes sense. Now I want to show you the code for the Lambda function. So what happens is basically, so basically if I go to the architecture first, here, the DynamoDB, we're going to insert data into Dynamo. That will be inside the kinesis. The kinesis will use a Lambda to process this data. So let's see what's happening there. Here you can see I have defined a Lambda handler. Oops, what happened? Let me open up that again. Okay, my bad, sorry. So here you can see for records in records, we are receiving a bunch of records, batches of record. We essentially first deserialize the payload. We decode the payload. We are basically the data comes as a base 64, and we deserialize, we serialize the we deserialize that because it's a string JSON, so we have to convert that into a JSON. So we do that. Once that is done, we check whether the event is an insert, update, or a remove. And based on the event, we essentially deserialize. So basically, we're going to convert Dynamo JSON into a regular standard JSON. After that, I'm adding some housekeeping parameters: event source, event name, event ID, AWS region, year, month, day. I'm adding these on for the data lake. Then once that is done, I'm essentially inserting the records into a kinesis data stream, which means this Lambda will process, it will take the Dynamo JSON, convert into a regular JSON, it's gonna flatten out, right? And after doing all of that, it's gonna pass to the next kinesis stream. So that's something that I'm doing here. And here, the way I'm using partition key is random number between 1 to 10. Now, you might ask, hey, why 1 to 10 random? Well, this is actually a strategy to evenly distribute the data across shards. You can read more. Again, this is from my experience. So, makes sense. And then essentially, yeah, that's the job of the Lambda function, right? The reason I define this as a global, because I don't want to load it every time. Again, this will help me to speed up my Lambda functions. That's why I've defined this as on a global level. And that's pretty much it, guys, right? That's the Lambda function that we have. So that's the Lambda, and now we did this. Now actually it's time to start the entire project. So okay, what you have to do first, okay, is now there will be a Python file called Dynamo Data Gen. This is gonna generate fake order data from various city state into our data lake. Make sure I'm just gonna close all the tab. I'm so much confused, so I'm just closing all the tabs here, and I'll tell you which tabs you need to open. So the first tab that you want to open is you need a glue console for sure. So that's my glue console, and I'm interested in the database section, and then I might be interested in the Athena because I might want to query my streaming data. I might want to run an ad hoc query. And after that, I think the only one that I need is S3. So I'm gonna open up S3 over here, and again, there's nothing there on my data lake right now at this point. So beginners, I'm assuming it should be empty. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so are you ready? Let's get it. Let's do it, right? So excuse me, give me 1 sec. Excuse me. Oh God, I'm sorry about that. But so again, I'm not gonna edit the video. I'm gonna keep it raw. So hopefully that makes sense, right? Oh, sorry. Now what are we gonna do is basically at this point my glue job is ready. So I'm gonna open up a job in a new tab. Again, this is a streaming job. We have done all the changes, right? So now run the job. The job has started. It's a streaming job, and now I'm gonna start inserting data into DynamoDB. So again, after an interval of 5, a new orders is generated. We are simulating that, right? Basically. So if I come to my DynamoDB, I should have opened DynamoDB to show you. This one over here. If I go to tables, dev.oltp, explore, click here, and here you can see it's coming in the new data. These are the states, right? California, Ohio, etc., etc. So what's happening is basically in the architecture at this point, where is that circle? It disappeared. It's fine. So at this point, what's happening is, guys, we are inserting data into Dynamo. Streams is taking the data, the Lambda is processing it, right? So if I had to show you the Lambda function again, right, really quickly. So if I go to Lambda function, right, and then if I head over here, right, this is essentially connected to the kinesis stream, right? So here, if I go to the monitor section and open that in the CloudWatch, I'll actually be able to show you a payload. So again, all this is happening near real time. As you can see, we are processing the data, right? The data is being processed by the Lambda function. That's great. Now what's going to happen is, if you go to the database section and if you go to Hudi DB, here you can see there's a new table created called table Hudi stream. This is our real-time data. Now I would be able to query this data in a near real time, right? So I can come here and I can click on preview. Now I'm actually querying my streaming data. Again, new orders are coming in. I'm able to query my, as you can see, my data, right? And that's great. Again, we can do upsert. I'm doing all upsert, which means anytime there's a duplicate, it's simply gonna update that, right? So that's that. Again, that's amazing. Look at this, right? This is an entire pipeline. We built an entire architecture. This is the entire flow, right? Now, okay, you have your business user, you want to build dashboards. Okay, so click on new data set, and here I'll use Athena as a backend. Here I'll call real. Okay, and then I might click on create data source. Again, then I'm gonna use HudiDB, and then here I will have table Hudi streams. I'm gonna click on select. I don't want to do Spice. I'll directly query the data for now, but you want to do Spice, okay, for production. So now I'm interested to see, okay, how many documents do I have, right? So basically I'll simply drag here, come here. You need to add or remove field. Really? I think I did that. Okay, so I can resize. I have 14 documents here, okay. Then I want to add a visual, right? Now I want to do a count. Hold on. How do I do it? I think this one. Sawmill. What it was? Okay, let me see if this works. Then yeah, that's great. So I need a count there. Target value. Yeah. No. I think here. Yeah, fine. I mean, I have to see about the what you call that, the dashboard stuff, but that's fine. I'll create a simple one, rather. So what I'm gonna do is I will basically want a pie chart, and here I wanna see the orders coming from various states. So I'll put states here, and I wanna do a count. So oh yeah, actually it did do a count for me. So that's great. I mean, Quickstart is pretty smart. It does. I'm trying to drag this one here. Come here. Okay, that's good. So here I can see all the orders that are flowing in. Then I can add a visual for orders coming in from various city. So again, I can click on this chart here. I can say city. I can come here, and I think this should do the job for me. Yeah, look at that. That's amazing, right? I might want to see a count for the data. So first of all, I might want to change the theme here. I prefer, why can't I select the theme? I was able to select a darker theme before. Not sure why I'm not able to select the theme. It's fine, theme is okay. We'll do that later on, but you got the idea, right? So now I can add visuals here. Again, and you're querying your Hudi data, right? So I can drag this here and show me the count. No, I want to see the count. Can I drag it here? I have to play with the QuickSight a little bit. I haven't played much, but that's weird. What is this? Let's see. But hopefully you got the idea, right? I mean, I'm not the best BI person here, but I can build the entire data pipelines, right? So that's great. So yeah, what you observe is, your transactions are happening at a very high velocity on DynamoDB. We did capture that in the kinesis. We did process that data from a Lambda function. We insert into a new kinesis. After that, Glue, we have a Glue streaming job, which inserts into Apache Hudi. And these are your end user, your ML engineers, your, you can run ad hoc queries on Athena, etc., etc. I'm gonna stop, otherwise I'm gonna get charged for these stuff. So let's terminate everything. That is equally also important. Now what you want to do is come to terminal and do npx sls remove. This should remove the entire stack. Okay, so we'll do that. And one more thing that I wanted to say, yeah, make sure you remove the stack, okay, because otherwise you're gonna get charged. Okay, so what you guys have seen is an actual real world project. Again, these are not like hello world project. These are actual projects that people will you guys will be doing in the company. You'll be building this entire pipeline, right? You have your data in various sources, right? We essentially are bringing that in near real time through streams. We are processing the streaming data. We did visualize that data as well. A lot's happening, right? We wrote all the infrastructure code. The Lambda is processing the data, and here you can truly see how Apache Hudi is shining. Insert, update, delete, time queries, snapshot queries, visualize your data lakes, right? Using QuickSight. So this is a complete end-to-end project. And what I want to say is actually you should try these projects out. If you have time on the weekend, take the code, go to the GitHub repository, try things out. You're gonna get errors on the first try, right? But try, and try to get it working. Try to learn stuff, right? And I always keep saying the best way to learn is to actually do stuff. So I recommend everybody to do these projects. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope these videos will help you and your company to build better data lakes using Apache Hudi. Thank you so much. My name is Samal Shah, and if you have any more questions, let me know. Until then, keep smiling, keep programming. See you guys in the next video.